Okay. Can you hear me and stuff? Okay, I can see you. It says you're still connecting to audio. There you go. Okay. All good on your end?
Yeah.
All right. Tell me if you can see my screen. One sec. Gonna open the form checks. Get this shit out of the way, please.
Good afternoon, Noah.
I know. Dude, I'm trying to like get rid of this fucking top bar. This is so annoying. I'm sorry.
Here comes Hank. He just fed, so he's full of piss and vinegar. Come here. Come here.
There we go. Okay. Dropbox. Perfect. Okay.
Good boy.
So we will start with Matt Riker's barbell stiff leg deadlift, and then we will go down.
Okay.
And Carlos, I'm sorry if we were supposed to hit you. It just didn't say that it was for Nick, so I'm going to assume it's for next form check. Can you see?
We can look at it just in case. It's fine.
Okay. Just...
Okay. These were RDLs?
We'll just start with our boy Carlos first, just to be safe. So this says right knee unstable, imagining it's squats.
What does that mean? This is where I'd like to ask him questions. What is that? Right knee unstable. I would need to know where he's feeling it because it could be a glute issue.
This knee that hurts.
He's favoring one side for
Yeah.
sure. So if this is flipped, is he favoring his left side?
Yeah, it would be our left looking at him. Yeah.
So our left is his right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's favoring his right side then. If I'm understanding that correctly.
Yes.
Now he's back in the middle. Now he's favoring his right. So it could be, is there pain? Is there I have questions here because like it could be worth going and getting it looked at because if there's an instability, it could be a tendon issue. I don't know. I don't know if there's pain, where the pain is, but it also could be a muscle imbalance. It could be you're weak on the glute and it's causing it to try and fold in like that. And you got to continually drive your knees out. It doesn't look anything alarming, but if there is pain, depending on how much pain it is and where it is, you should go see a sports PT, man. 100%. But again, I would need questions answered. Next.
All right. Sorry, one sec. I just want to get recalibrated here real quick. I'm going to spotlight.
His squats didn't look bad.
No.
They look good. It could be maybe a little deeper, but if he's having pain, that could be a big restriction.
Okay. Let's move on to Morgan. Oh, sorry, no. Barbell stiff leg deadlift for Nick.
It's a good start position. Getting his stance. So this is an RDL. Stiff leg deadlifts are less knee bend. You're doing great pushing your butt back, keeping yourself heel heavy. A stiff leg deadlift, where stiff leg deadlift and RDL part is RDLs have more knee bend. Stiff leg deadlifts, you don't necessarily need to be locked, but you're much closer to that standing upright position with your thigh angle. So stiff leg deadlifts are what they sound like they're a stiffer variation, some little bit. So you can call it soft knees, light knee bend. This is more of an RDL position. So that's not bad. I'm okay with you doing an RDL. But if you're trying to accomplish stiff leg deadlift, just less bend. I love your posture, love your range of motion. You're staying within a position of where your back's not folding, you're braced. A lot of good things going on here. Next,
We got Ryan Tom deadlift.
Ricky Bobby. Good position so far. Brace. Nice job. You can see him actively finding that brace. Tightening his back. You see his chest pop out. Boop. That's lock in. Back sets. Pretty neutral. Now it looks like he's getting higher in effort with each rep. So we're seeing a little bit of flexion, but it's not the end of the world because it's minimal and it's very high effort. Things deteriorate. But overall, these are good pulls. A little bit more flexion there. He's fatiguing out. That's all that is. That was a good set. That was a hard set. Nice job. Looking real good. Next.
All right.
Bar path was great too.
Okay. So barbell row, Paul.
Great position, great posture. I want to see you roll a little bit more towards your belly button and less towards your chest. So kind of the middle ground of where you're at versus just a little bit more towards your abdomen. To get more of the lat and mid and upper back involved. Right now it's a lot of rear delt, a lot of upper back, probably feel some of it in your traps. So just row it more towards your belly button. Otherwise, these are great. Next.
All right. Now Paul, barbell squat. That's a steep.
Yeah. It's almost like a hack squat block. Oh no, he's staying low. Oh no.
It's scary.
I mean, he's got great position.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm not mad at it. He probably feels that a ton in his quads. I mean, you've got great position. You move incredibly well. Um, everything about the squat is great. I can't tell if your knees are folding or not. That is a lot of angle, but it's working for you in a great position. Unless you have any sort of goals for powerlifting, I'm okay with you using it. Um, so good job, man. Next.
All right. Jose.
You know, turn around with Jose Cuervo. Zombie squats. So the good thing about zombie squats is they force you to keep posture because if you don't, that bar will just roll right away from you. But you are extremely shallow, my man. You're about halfway down. So we got to get that hip line. You're getting shallower and shallower. So, let's drop some weight and really see those heels coming up. You're squatting forward, squatting towards your feet versus sitting right down between your heels. Um, that how you started and held the bar there, that was really good. That's ideal. But if I remember correctly, we're trying to get you from folding over, I think is what we spoke about. And a solution to that is briefly doing zombie squats to fix posture. Because you have nothing retaining the bar besides your delts. So you have to keep that chest upright. But you are super shallow. So I'd like to see you do these potentially with less weight and much deeper. Because that last rep right there was nowhere near where we need to be. Got a little better there, but you're still pretty high. So we need there's so much you're doing right here. We just need to get you deeper, man. So let's work on depth a little bit. Sit lower than you think you need to. Record every set. Look at it after. I'm looking for that where that hip crease is to the kneecap. So we need to get that hip crease at or below the kneecap. Record the sets. Look at them as you go. So you can know on the spot deeper. But there, you're sitting towards the front of your foot, so it's causing those heels to get light, which you'll see in your later reps. You stepped out, you change your width there, and you actually got shallower. So, yeah, we need to sit you deeper. There was the toe heavy. Next, these look good. Bars close up against the shins. He's locking all the way out.
Classic. Sorry.
Oh man, just go back to the beginning
Yep.
because the side profile is better. So that first rep, you see how your knees pushed back and your hips shot up, and it actually brought you a little bit away from the bar, but gravity corrected you from that point on. So let's drop the touch and goes, and I want every rep from a dead stop. Um, because your reps get better as you go on. You're still slightly out front, but we need to get that bar up against your shins and your hips back. These are looking better and better. So every rep, stop and go, rebrace, right there. Your hips kicked up, which pulled your knees back. So we need to get your start position. You need to get it right from the first go, and that's very common. The first rep is the worst one for a lot of people because gravity straightens them out on the way down after the first rep. So we need you a little bit more sitting back, as in kicking your hips back. So it'll push your knee, your basically your shin line a little more vertical. So your leg drive is immediate. What caused your hips to shoot up was you put in leg drive because your butt was too low. So it rolls you forward, pulls your knees back, and now you have a big gap between you and the bar. So we need to get you into position straight out of the gate. Next.
All right. Big Carney.
A little high, just a little. But he's got really good form otherwise. From the hip up, I like how everything's looking. Um, Traveled a little bit forward there, but he corrected. Yeah, we just need to get you a little bit deeper, man. These are looking good. These are looking really good. You're right there. We need to just get you a little bit deeper. So remember that hip crease to the kneecap is the line we're looking for, at or below. You're you're really close. Like that one, you're maybe an inch, half inch. You're right there. Um, Go a little deeper than you think you need to next time, but these are looking really good otherwise. I don't wanna change much else other than getting to sit a little bit lower. Next. Ooh, Oh man, that was a fight. So we kind of need to just get you moving a little bit more deliberate. That was a great grind. I loved how you said, you know what, I'm gonna do this halfway through. Um, that was a great grind, but you never got set. As soon as you unracked the bar, you stepped out, you didn't get set, you didn't squeeze your glutes, you just kind of went right, you step, bit, bit, and then down you go. Yeah, you're like a quarter of the way down, you decide to go down some more, and then you were kind of figuring it out, and you were just all sorts of out of whack. You and all that is loss of tension and being out of position, and that was a great attempt fight out of it. What that tells me, the fact that you were able to do all of that and still stand back up, is if you come out deliberately and get your setup dialed in and get your bar path dialed in, there's way more in the tank, way more on the table. So you need to brace, unrack, two-step drop, squeeze your butt, re-brace, tighten that back, squeeze that back, brace, sit down between your heels, and stand up. None of all that other stuff going on. It needs to be very deliberate, and every rep is the same. So when you walk out, you hit that two-step drop. And before you decide to sit down, I want you to squeeze your back, squeeze your butt, brace really hard, then sit down. So you walked out with soft knees, you never got set, which created all this instability. So it's honestly impressive that you were able to recover from all that. But what that does tell me is there's much more strength on the table than you think. You just got to get it all together. So good job. Um, Depth looked pretty. It was hard to tell from that angle, but it looked, if it wasn't there, it was close. Um, you look jacked from this angle, so kudos to you. Um, we just got some. We just got to work on having a very deliberate approach to the moment we start the squat. Next. So this is going to be hard to coach the video. Um, if you do a heavy tire like that, you're going to tear a bicep. The reason being is you picked it up vertically. This thing has an axis. So you've actually got to lift on that axis. And what that's going to look like is, honestly, you want your arms outside of your feet. You actually want a wide purchase, and you drive your body into it. Now, as the tires get heavier, they get thicker. So your forearms and such will dig into it, and you actually drive into that tire in a manner that it comes up and over. Now, because this tire is so narrow, I'd say that's somewhere around, I don't know, 150, because we have one of that size and that's what it weighs. Tires are hard to tell because it depends if it's a radial or whatever, and it has the steel cable in it. I can change the weight by 100 pounds. Um, you're picking it up vertically, and you see how your arms bent as soon as they came off the ground. You pick up that 450-pound tire, your biceps gonna pop, because you can't curl it. So you actually have to keep your arms straight as you drive up, and then you catch it with your hips, and then your arms can bend once you have that leg behind it and there's something supporting. So once you step into it, that's when your arms bend. But if you try and pick and bend with your arms, that's the danger with these. Um, you got to drive into that axis. You can't pick straight up. This is light enough, you're getting away with it. But as you get heavier, you have to drive in and up into the tire, because that's the axis it's on. It only comes up vertically for a very brief moment, that first inch off the ground. Everything after that, the axis is changing, and that's how you have to lift on it. So it's not going to be this squat form. That's not going to work when it gets heavy. So That's what I mean is it has its own little technique, and this is very hard to coach through. I've never had to coach this through video. So this is a learning experience for me. That tire in the background is going to be a completely different animal because it's going to require a little bit more uh technique and getting your drive in the right position. So remember that tire has to do this. So when you pick up, you don't want to be picking up like this. You want to be picking it up at the angle. You have to meet the tire where it's at. So yeah, you can get close, but it getting outside your legs with a narrow stance allows you to kind of get in that like football athletic start, or track and field start and drive up into it and bring it over. Because the bigger the tire gets, because that other tire is way taller. So you're going to run out. It's still going to be here and you're going to be standing all the way up. So that's what makes it even harder is you got to figure out how to fight and grind. Once you pick it, now you've got to grind from here to here before you can actually get behind it and push it over. So how you pick at the right angle is going to have a big impact. Next.
And if you're demonstrating anything like on your camera, just let me know because I have to back out of this.
Yeah, I would need a tire to demonstrate that, which we do, but it'd be a process because they're out behind the barn.
All right. So Arthur deadlift.
Push that belly button out. Come on. Neutral. Nope. Almost. That wasn't bad. It was on the mild side of flexion, but I want you to really like pull your hips and your belly button towards the bar. Use that bar weight and tension to set your lats, set your back, and get it into more of a neutral spine position. See how your hips are curled down? We need them rotated forward. So that's why I say if your belly button's here at the top of your hips, we want to push that belly button towards the bar to get a nice neutral spine. Next.
All right. Arthur's bench.
It was a good bar path. He's driving back towards his face. I don't want to see those feet dancing. There we go. I want to see that leg drive. Don't think about driving your butt up. Think about driving your body up the bench long ways. Not up in the air, but laterally with the bench. Screw those feet into the ground. Little bit of arch in your back. Your bar path was fantastic. You got the right idea. Down your nipple line, push back up towards your face. So you're doing a lot right here. Just some of the nuances of really getting your body working in conjunction, getting those feet screwed into the floor, getting your legs tight, getting leg tension, getting butt tension, squeezing your butt, driving your body up the bench, keeping it tight back, packing those lats. It's you see how the shoulders roll up at the top of the bench press. We want them to stay screwed in. So when we bench, my shoulder's not bouncing all wiggling all around. So just some subtle things here that will really make a big difference. Next.
All right. Rory's back with the barbell.
Back with the barbell. I thought she was continuing with her program. Do you remember that correctly? Or is it just me?
You mean like she was gonna stick with the dumbbells?
Yeah. Finish the
I
program.
think you told her to go with weight, and so I think
Okay.
that's why she got the barbell. But I could be mistaken too.
So you're pressing out front, Rory. You see how there's an angle from your shoulder and it's forward to the bar when you're at lockout? So don't move the bar around your head. We never move the weight around us. We move our bodies around the weight. So if you've got to look up at the ceiling to get your your melon out of the way, do that. Look up, and then as you press, because you want that bar as close as possible. So when you have weight on that bar, you're not going to be able to hold that rack position because your hands are in front of your elbows. They need to be above or behind your elbows because it'll just tip it away from you as soon as you drive. You won't be able to press it like that. So you need to get your elbows underneath the bar, get that bar close, look up and get your chin out of the way. Then as it clears your face, then you bring your head back down and drive towards the back of your head. Next.
Right.
What are these supposed to be?
I think this is hip raises. She's been doing body weight program,
Okay.
not leg raises.
Need context. What?
I think she's trying to show you that she's trying to keep her belly button through the floor.
We don't want our belly button to go down. We want our stomach to expand and squeeze. I mean, she's shredded, first of all. So it looks like there, I think it may be just the way she's folding her legs up that makes it look like. I wish this had audio. Does this have audio? Is she saying anything?
That's what I was wondering, but doesn't sound like it.
Um,
I got audio on my end and there's nothing.
okay. I'm guessing this is something with your brace. My biggest takeaway so far from this is you're shredded. But I just need some context on are we working on our bracing or I guess that's what. Yeah, I wish this had audio. So I could, if she's saying something, I could hear, and so I could actually help her
It's all good. We can
answer her
we can get her
question.
on the next call.
Yeah.
All right. We already did Carney's squat, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Mark.
she got better abs than me. Got some butt link going on at the bottom. So again, you're bearing these, man. You're going slightly a little too low. We might need to widen up your stance a little bit because you're not allowing the hip mobility to. That's why as you're coming down to the bottom, your hips are curling underneath of you because we don't have the hip mobility to maintain uh, a supported posture in that position. So I would say let's take a half step out, get those toes pointed out, drive your knees over your toes. Um, don't go as deep. Like I'm talking like maybe an inch higher. Because your butt wink happens shortly after you arrive at depth. And keep that chest proud. See how you kind of fold at the top, at the bottom as well. Your chest kind of dips down as well. So let's keep that chest out and shallow these out just a little bit and see where you land. Next.
Mitch. Rodrigo.
Feel like you know us, so I don't want to hear any excuses on squat depth.
Hey, he doesn't have a fake hip.
But have a fake face.
High pulse.
Yeah. I usually do these from the floor. Um, but these are fine. Uh, pull it higher, like almost to your chin, like chest area. It kind of looks like from this angle, like your mid torso. It's supposed to be a very explosive movement. Um, and you want to try and get your elbows at least, you know, um, near or around shoulder height. This isn't bad. You've got the right idea, but we want a very violent motion. Those hips come through violent. You're still kind of back behind the bar versus pushing the ground away and allowing your hips to come through, squeezing your butt, and use your whole body on these. These are a whole body explosive movement. So I want a little more violence out of these. So you pull that weight higher. And I think even at that weight, if you use your body together, you could pull it higher. So I don't think this is necessarily upfront a weight issue. I think it's an input. We just need to get a little bit more out of you. That's all. Next.
Okay. Bent over row. Or this is a T-bar, sorry.
These are good. You're not coming too far up vertically with the torso. You're not, jerking at the top. I'm okay with these. Good job.
Okay. Bench press.
He's gonna be out front because it's too far in the rack. Yep. Um, you see how your face is behind the hooks? You can't get the right bar path because you're too far into the rack. So you've actually got to slide out so your eyes are underneath the bar because you want to be able to drive almost back up towards your eyes. So you're coming down so far and those first couple reps, you're almost pushing away from you. So you're doing a lot right here with how you're setting up. It looks like you're packing your lats. You've got your feet planted firmly. I can see some leg tension happening. And you've got the right idea. You want to get back up that way, but you can't because you're too far up the rack. So just slide out a little bit, man, and push more towards your face. That's all. Good job. Next.
All right. Rodrigo.
These look pretty good to me. Not a crazy like arm pulling motion. The lats aren't doing too much. Um, I'm happy with this. Yeah. Next.
All right. Shoes.
I don't like the squishy running shoes. It's adding instability. I don't like the cameraman not putting you in frame either. You can't really see what's going on. There we go. You have the right idea. Uh, push that chest out, push that belly button to the floor, cue I gave earlier. Tell your cameraman to point the camera actually at you. It's the other big one. Um, but yeah, you're 80% of the way there. I would like a more steadier input to the bar versus that subtle little jerk. Get rid of those running shoes on anything deadlift or squats. It's adding instability. We don't want a cushion. We want hard and flat. Push that belly button to the floor. Keep that back tight. Snap the bar. See that little bend before you pull? That's the jerk. Pull in tension with your lats like you did on that second rep. Push that belly button out towards the floor. You got the right idea. You've got it mostly right. We just need to get your spine and your lumbar a little bit more neutral. That's all. Next.
Okay.
Cameraman's fired. You had one job.
Gloriana.
What's the movement here?
Body weight pull-ups. Or sorry, Bar with
Inverted rows.
yeah.
These look good. I don't know what your target rep range is, but I think you could go for a little bit less of an angle and make it a little bit harder. Um, you're doing a good job of pulling with your back. I like that squeeze at the top. I would say make those a little bit harder. Like I want you kind of fighting for the last couple reps. Progress those because that's how you're going to be. That's how you get to an actual pull up. Got to make them harder. Put your feet up on a bench or something. Or elevate your feet to bring you kind of instead of here, kind of bring you closer to flat. So, good job. Make them harder. Next.
Okay, Gloriana. I think we already saw that.
Yep, we already saw.
Saw.
Yep. Yep.
All right, here's Freddie. Let me just. Okay.
Freddie Van Huynh. From here, that looked great. See him actively driving those knees out. Up, a little bit of collapse right there. Drive those knees out over your toes, over your pinky toes. Constant driving them out on the way down, on the way up. Could be worth taking like an inch step in with either foot as well on front squat. Front squats typically, in my experience, tend to be a little bit narrower than back squats. That looked easy, man. You were deep. You had a good rhythm. From this angle, it all looks good. I'd like to see these from the side, to see what else is going on if there is anything even going on. But good job, man. Pat on the back. Next.
Back squat.
Yeah, that width makes more sense on a back squat. Knees, same thing, knees collapsing. And this is an easy fix. If you need like a physical feedback to remind you, put a band around your knees, just above your knee, and drive out against the band. Uh, that band tension. And you'll feel it in your glutes too. Um, but depth looks good, posture looks good again from this angle. It's hard to see holistically. Um, But again, the main takeaway from what I'm seeing here is drive those knees out towards your pinky toes the entire time. Squeeze your butt when you start because that's what's going to be able to allow you to peel those knees out as your glutes firing. So again, good job. The dude had a phenomenal jawline.
I
Did you see that?
wasn't looking at it.
Sculpted. Too high. So when your elbows come under, you're too high. We need you to get here, not here. So you've got the right idea. Um, I'd like to see you start it just below your knees. So after you catch it, sink down just below your knees and really allow your hips and extension to do its job here. So one way to be able to get it higher is move your grip in or out, see what feels better. I do these snatch grip a lot, snatch grip high pulls for different applications, but a high pull is a high pull. You still got to move explosively all the same. So you're kind of muscling these up the last couple inches. I want these to be explosive. So maybe drop the weight, learn to move it a little bit faster. And again, we aren't pulling here. The fact that you aren't able to get your elbows to rise, could be a mobility issue, or it's too heavy and you're kind of leaning back and pulling it, the way you're pulling it now. So let's drop the weight a little bit. And I want to see you imagine pulling the bar apart as you come up, like pulling it apart like this way. But move it fast, explosive. I want to see nothing but acceleration top to bottom. Or bottom to top. Next.
We already did that one.
Yep.
Did that one.
Yep.
There's Big Ben.
There's Ben.
All right.
Much better angle, Ben. I can see everything. Now that you're not backlit. Great bar path. I love how like your lower body is just rock solid, not moving at all. Um, I think you have a pretty narrow bench.
He's
And I
doing
wish
narrow
on
bench
here.
on purpose, Nick. Sorry.
Oh, it's close grip.
Yeah.
Okay, then that was a close grip bench. Yeah. Um, I apologize. I was like, man, he benches really narrow. Um, that looks good. If that's close grip. I've got no real issue with that. Um, remember, keep those lats tight, keep your back tight so your shoulders aren't rolling all around. Um, but the overall form looks fantastic on these, Ben. Good job.
Johan.
These are good. See how your heels are light? Boom. See that little slight heel lift? I want you to get your shoulders are past. You look at the end of the barbell and you draw a line up to your shoulders, you kind of have to go forward. So I want you to take that and sit back with it. I don't want you to change anything else. Nothing. I just want you to push back more towards your heels. Shift your weight towards your heels. So your weight distribution is midfoot to heels. Otherwise, beautiful deadlift. We just need to get you a little bit back, and that should make things feel a little smoother bar path wise because you kind of come up at a forward angle, where you're doing everything else incredibly right. I mean, it's a very pretty pull, and this is a very subtle thing about the deadlift that has a big impact on bar path, and will be so as you get heavier. What'll happen is, say you're doing a 1 rep max. If you do that, what'll happen as soon as you break the floor, that bar will swing out away from you. Right now, it's light enough and you're strong enough, you can keep that bar there, which means you've got lat engagement because you're keeping that bar into you with while it has weight on it. But as you get heavier, that bar is going to swing out away from you. Your butt's going to shoot up. You're going to tip forward. So we need to get you back to get your shoulders over the bar. So as soon as you input leg drive, it shoots straight up. Good job. Next.
Okay.
Dude, my deadlift was atrocious. Like the first 2 years, 3 years of lifting. I
Barbell
should
lunges.
I should find a picture or a video.
I think people would probably feel better about themselves.
Yeah, dude, I was like super wide, like just baby deer, all awkward and shit. These are good. I love these. See how from the hip up, his posture never changes throughout the whole rep. You move in a very sound and balanced manner. I want to give you uh applause on how well your body flows through these movements. Um Good job. Yeah, I've got nothing for you. I'm just enjoying watching a really good movement pattern. Next.
Benoit.
Deeper. As you descend, you're traveling forward. So that's what's making it hard to get deep because like you're on the verge of almost it looks like tipping over. So we're gonna need to back off some weight a little bit here. And work on that depth. Uh Play it one more time for me, Noah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you hit the bottom of your depth, what's also causing you to go forward is you're starting to fold. If you look at your torso, your chest falls, your midsection compresses. So that's brace and our ability to support this weight. So again, this is why I said we need to back off the weight because you can't support it. It's putting you the weight is forcing you down into that compromised position. So we need to back off some weight. We need to get you more to that midfoot and heels and sitting back behind your heels and keeping that chest proud with a really strong brace, squeezing with that back. And getting you deeper. We need to get you like 4 inches, 4 inches deeper. So I'd like to see this from the front and see what your foot width looks like because that could be an impact on why you're squatting. Uh, it could be an impact on why things are going the way they are depth wise. So, those are the main takeaways from here, man. We'll get you there. Those are really nice plates too.
The exclusive Arnold ones.
Yeah.
Arthur, seen it. Stefan. For some reason, I feel like we've seen this one before, but I'm just gonna roll with it.
Is this an RDL or a stiff leg deadlift?
I think
This is he's honestly closer to a stiff leg deadlift. Um, You could RDL, you're going to want a little bit more knee bend, but your posture looks all right. We get a little bit of fold there at the bottom, which means we should go slightly less in terms of range of motion and really focus on that brace and keeping that back tight so we keep a nice neutral spine. Um, but overall it's fine. It's good. Just a couple little subtle things to really focus on to kind of polish it. Next.
I think we definitely did do Matt's deadlift yesterday, or the last form check. Here's a squat. Apologies if these are repeats,
Yeah,
people.
I remember this one.
You remember this one?
Yeah. Let
No.
me I
What
was
about
gonna say.
this?
I don't recognize this one.
All right, cool. All right, well, we'll just roll with Brian's deadlift right now.
I look fine. Slight jerk, which almost threw him off, but he's strong, so he kind of powered through it. Get that lat tension in. Get that back tension so you pull, you have a steady input to power versus like a heat. And because when you yank like that, the weight's gonna that sudden load is is gonna pull you out of your brace. So we want a nice patient input, hard but patient. But the good thing is you were strong enough to kind of pull through it. So good job.
All right. Looks like he added some weight on.
There we go. That was a grinder. This is like max effort. Um, he's definitely slow off the floor. So we found out he's is if he's a puller that if they break it, they're gonna pull it. And everyone is kind of like that. We kind of ebb and flow with the top half being weak versus the bottom being weak. But he's a where he's at right now on his deadlift journey. If he breaks it, he's gonna pull it because after it broke, it accelerated. So I'm not gonna bash him for any sort of that brace kind of crumbling because that was like a max effort lift it looked like. And honestly, as far as max efforts go, that could go way uglier. He held it together pretty fucking good. So um I'm happy with that. Good job, man. Way to be patient, way to just keep pulling.
All right.
Sometimes you
Benoit.
gotta risk it for that biscuit on the max effort, you know what I mean? Comes with the territory. This is Benoit again.
Yeah.
Benoit, your deadlifts definitely come to you easier than your squats, it seems. Because this is pretty good. It looks like you're having to travel around your knee. And that's a very simple solution. We're going to bring your butt up just a little bit. It's going to pull your knees back. And when that happens, keep that bar up against your shins and pull from there. We don't want to come up a lot. We only want to come up like a couple inches. And let's see how that looks. But good job here, man. Next.
All right. Is this the same video? Yeah, it is. Okay.
That's it.
Well, that's it. Yeah. So
Let's see.
stop the share there. And yeah, so I'll upload on YouTube. Hopefully we got to everybody's form checks. And we have another form check with Jen on Tuesday, so be on the lookout for the link. And yeah, have a good weekend, everybody. I'm gonna try to upload this early tomorrow morning. It's Friday now, so expect it Saturday. Thank you, Nick, for taking the time.
Always. Thanks, Noah.
All right, see ya. Bye.
Later.